Students, welcome back. This is the third and last session video on our second chapter of supplementary textbook Vistas, that is Journey to the End of the Earth. Okay, we all know that this is based on the travelogue by Tishani Doshi. First things first, the 100-hour expedition. Now we have learnt in the from the text itself that our narrator is belonged to Madras, okay, 13.0 degree north of the equator. This is the academic Shokalski. She crossed 9 time zones, 6 checkpoints, 3 oceans, and 100 hours. More than 100 hours of journey in combination of car, plane, and ship. And that is why she was relieved, and then she felt wondered at its immensity. Entering the giant ping pong ball, Antarctica strips away the familiar. It is a landscape defined by what is missing as much what it is there. So why it is a giant ping pong ball? Because this is yet another important short question. Because it is a giant ping pong ball compared to a giant ping pong ball, because it has not seen any human interference in the form of trees, billboards, buildings, infrastructure, etc. So, in reality, a pristine, untouched environment characterized by an uninterrupted blue horizon, absolute silence, and a continuous 24-hour austral summer light. Okay, this is a geological. Why should we study Antarctica? We have discussed this. Here you get a visual representation. First reason, because it is the only place on earth that has never sustained a human population, making it a perfect, pristine laboratory. That is the purest form. Earth in its purest form. Okay. Second reason, deep inside the ice sheets lie half-million-year-old carbon records. So this is the past. What is the present? It is an untouched ecosystem and hence acts as a real time monitor for global climate shifts and future. If we can study these things, then we will be able to understand where we are heading. Okay, visible changes here project the survival trajectory. Trajectory means the path, okay, of the entire planet, where our planet is heading. Irony of the geological clock. Geological clock is the time is the clock of the large. Okay, so it is 650 million years old. But what is the human time? Micro level, it is just 12,000 years, and hence 650 million years while compared to 12,000 years is just few seconds on the geological clock. How is the space unimaginably slow? Incremental tectonic drift, half a million year old carbon records gradual mass extinction. Here, how is the pace? Frantic and disruptive. Everyone is rushing. Remember keeping quiet. We are mindlessly moving forward to grow ourselves, right? Rapid industrialization, explosive population growth, burning of fossil fuels, immediate global warming, ozone depletion. So much of ruckus has happened within these few years. What is the insight? Humans have existed only for a fraction of Earth's history, but have caused exponential lasting disruption to the planet's fragile balance. Dispersal of Gondwana. 650 million years ago, a giant supercontinent, southern supercontinent existed. 165 million years ago, it began to break apart, shaping the globe that as we know it today. Supercontinent Gondwana, before 165 million years ago, this is before 650 million years ago, this is 165 million years ago, that is the extinction of mammoths, dinosaurs, woolly rhinos. Phase 3, this is the modern global map. Okay. Action 1, India pushes northward. jamming against Asia to form the Himalayas. South America drifts off to join North America. South America drifts up to join North America. And the result, this opens the Drake Passage. What was it like while walking on the thick stretch of ice? Nothing but stark whiteness and freezing air. The layer on which the students were walking, that is just 1 meter thick, and below that 180 meters of living breathing salt water. She could also see the crab eater seals, right? So what does she realize? The group watched crab eater seals sunning themselves on ice floes, a visceral reminder that a vast, interconnected web of life rests precariously just beneath a thin sheet of ice. Now, see, this is the most crucial thing, right? Microscopic foundation. A break at the microscopic bottom means total ecological collapse. So imagine if phytoplanktons are affected, then the entire ecosystem gets affected. Entire thing gets affected. If this entire thing gets affected, how will this entire thing get affected? If this Antarctica's uh, upper layer, superficial layer, that is the ice mass, glaciers get affected. So it is very important to take care and study Antarctica. Birds, seals, whales. What is the domino impact? The sole foundation of the entire southern ocean food web is phytoplankton, right? Further depletion of the ozone layer will severely affect phytoplankton activity. If this affects, then the entire southern ocean marine ecosystem or ecosystem per se collapses. Let's just read the narrative technique one at one go. Walking was like walking into a giant ping pong ball. That was a simile as well and an imagery. Why? Because it evokes the profound emptiness, scale, and total sensory deprivation of the polar landscape. Ice carving, living, breathing salt water, as if the water is living, breathing. This is personification, which depicts what? Vitality out to the environment, framing the ocean and ice as active, vulnerable, living entities. Phytoplankton has been used both literally and metaphorically. Literally, we have understood how metaphor. How is it a metaphor? This is used as a profound literary vehicle for the philosophical truth that the smallest things sustain the largest global systems. Okay. Frontlines of the climate reality, the warning signs. Antarctica is where the abstract threat of global warming becomes concrete. What is happening now? Glaciers are rapidly retreating. Massive ice shelves are collapsing and carving into the oceans. Now, see, you can see these. These are the ice shelves. This part, for example, this part will simply melt, and this entire part, just like a piece of cake, will fall into the ocean. So, Antarctica acts as the world's early warning. Why students are nice? Because Joe Green was tired of the wealthy retired tourists. Okay, they were driven by curiosity and leisure. Okay, they were more interested in sitting in their comfort zones and then act. Hence, they become passive observers with limited capacity to enact long term systemic change. Whereas, if when he takes the high school students, they are driven by idealism and active learning. They are the future policymakers. They are at the exact age where they can learn, where they can absorb the reality of the planet, learn the reality of the planet, and most importantly, act on it. Micro things, microscopic things, that is small things, determine the large things. Okay, it's not the other way around. Take care of the small things and the big things will take care of themselves. How? Understand this? The microscopic phytoplankton, if taken care of, why should it be taken care of? Because they dictate, that is, they regulate, they control the entire global carbon cycle and entire marine food webs. Okay, why should we take care of the what is happening to the environmental aspect? Okay, at the minor level, at the micro level, if we take care of this, then we would be able to stop, or if not stop, control the melting of the massive West Antarctic ice sheets. Okay, human actions, if the small individual actions of ourselves take place, then that will shape the massive global environmental policies. Okay, smallest things take care of the small things, big things will take care of themselves. Last point. So the journey to Antarctica is not a geographical expedition, it is a mirror reflecting humanity's precarious position on earth. What should we do? By witnessing the raw beauty and extreme vulnerability of the planet's most isolated continent, the abstract concept of climate change. Now, this had been an abstract thing until and unless they witnessed it. Okay, that becomes an undeniable, threatening reality. What should we do? Preservation requires more observation, it demands education, idealism, and the understanding that we act not just as individuals but as a deeply interconnected global community. Alright, I hope the chapter is clear to you. If there is any doubt or confusion, reach out to me in the class. Okay, thank you, students.